Welcome to the Pre-Snap Podcast presented by LineStar, your top NFL player prop bets for Divisional weekend. And in this show, we're breaking down probably the best game of the weekend, the Baltimore Ravens going to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Alongside me to break it all down, Tyler Wiemann is in the house. Tyler, did you ever imagine a more perfect matchup here in Divisional weekend? This is the best matchup on the slate, right?
Oh, it's for sure the best matchup on the slate. Unfortunately, I think 3 other games could be a blowout, but we should have a close one here.
Yeah, just 1 point spread in this one. And you've got basically what will probably be 1 and 2 in MVP voting in Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson going toe-to-toe once again. They met earlier this year. The Ravens came out with the win in that one, but the Bills were missing a lot of players in that one. We'll get into it a little bit more, but before we do us a huge favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. And also, we want to tell you about our new partner, VividPicks. If you haven't downloaded VividPicks, I highly recommend you do so. I did so just the other day, and they have a really great offer right now that we want to tell you guys about. $250 deposit match, up to $25 secured play if you use the promo code LineStar. Or if you want even a little bit more cash back and a little juice here, you can go to the BetFully app. New customers will get a $10 bonus and up to $40 cash back when you sign up using that link in the BetFully app. You can get it in any app store. So those are 2 options for you. The key is to always use that promo code, though, LineStar. All right, let's get into it. We're also on VividPicks for today for some of our picks. We are pairing a special promo right now on VividPicks. It's Lamar Jackson over 0.5 passing yards. I think he gets it in this one. And we're going to combine it with our top pick as well. And if we are wrong, because it happens from time to time, I'm hoping it won't be, we will give one randomly selected commenter $20. In order to enter that, just like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below. It's that easy. It's a win-win situation for you. You got nothing to lose. Drop your comment below. All right, let's get into this matchup. We're going to be talking about the weather. We got an injury report, the prop bets, anytime touchdown calls, and then we'll get into our game picks at the end. But first, let's talk about the weather because, of course, that's a topic in Buffalo this time of year. Game time temperatures are going to be in the low teens with snow expected. Temps are expected to drop to the low single digits. Wind shouldn't be an issue, though. Tyler, it's going to be a cold one in Buffalo. Let's check out the injury report. Pretty significant one for the Baltimore Ravens as wide receiver Zay Flowers once again did not practice today with a knee injury. He's been dealing with it. He missed last week. Looking at Buffalo, they're fairly healthy in this one. So first, let's just talk about this Zay Flowers injury because I think it's pretty significant in terms of handicapping. Tyler, what's your assessment?
On the Zay Flowers injury, I mean, versus a very good team like Buffalo, you need all the weapons you can possibly get. And the clear-cut wide receiver 1 being out is kind of a big miss.
All right. Well, with all that, let's take it and apply it to our prop bets. Remember, we're using that Lamar Jackson over 0.5 passing yards, and we're going to pair that with our first pick here using the PropsAI tool in the LineStar app. We're going with Khalil Shakir for the Buffalo Bills over 51.5 receiving yards. LineStar and the consensus have Shakir's total over 60. And this is a guy who's averaging 54.7 receiving yards per game. He had 61 last week against the Denver Broncos, which, as we know, is a great defense that they've shown throughout the year. Shakir actually had 62 when they met earlier this year. I wouldn't be surprised to see him playing a significant role in this one. And kind of the way when you go into these single games and try to figure out your prop bets is how are the Ravens going to play defense here? How are they going to go after Josh Allen? And this one, I think they're really going to try to stop the run game, stop, Josh Allen from running the ball. I think they're going to force him to pass the ball is what I'm saying. So I like our pick here with Shakir. What do you think?
Yes, I also like the pick. I agree. And the thing is that Shakir is by far just the most trusted weapon for Buffalo's passing game. He's targeted on 14% of the snaps he's on or routes he runs. And that's by far and away the biggest percentage of any of the Buffalo receivers. They really use a bunch of guys, but he is the most counted on. He's gets the most targets every game, averaging 6.7 on the year. And in a spot where it may be hard to go deep because of weather situations, Shakir is the most reliable option to go to.
Yeah, that's a great point. And a guy who's can get insane yak or yards after catch. He can rack them up. So I like it for Shakir over that 51.5 mark. Now it's time for Tyler and I to give our favorite player prop bets in this game. Tyler, who are you rolling with here?
I'm going to go with King Henry over 95.5 rushing yards. Now, Buffalo 28th versus RB1. The big thing here, we got the weather. It's snow. It's super cold. Who the heck wants to tackle King Henry in that? For years, we've heard about how King Henry is better in the winter. Come December, January, when temperatures get cold, that's when he really does it. Doesn't get colder than this, and King Henry is an absolute beast. Last time they faced him, he went for 199 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's in a good spot to have a big game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with King Henry here. Or as he now says he would like to be referred to as Lightning McQueen, as one of his teammates dubbed him. So Lightning McQueen will play a big role in this one. Definitely going to have himself a game here. I like that pick. It's hard to go against him in this matchup. So especially when you get to the playoffs, you brought these guys here for a reason. You let them take over the game, right? I mean, I can't see them going really in any other direction except for my pick here. We're going to go with Baltimore's tight end, Mark Andrews, over 38.5 receiving yards. LineStar's projection is around 45. So Andrews is averaging just under 40 receiving yards per game. He didn't have any receiving yards when they met earlier this season, but I think this is a different animal, especially when you consider the fact that Zay Flowers could be out in this one. He's going up against a tough defense in Buffalo that ranks 9th in pass defense DVOA versus tight ends. They've been pretty good against them, but they have allowed 48.1 receiving yards to the two tight ends per game. And we were talking about Mark Andrews, who's one of Jackson's favorite targets. Even when Zay Flowers is in the mix, he finished the season with a touchdown in like each of his last 6 games. So this is a guy he likes to target in critical situations, as I believe will be the case this weekend against the Buffalo Bills. So I'm comfortable rolling with Mark Andrews in this one, especially when you consider like the weather factors in this one. The deep ball might not be there as much, especially without Zay Flowers. So you could have situations where you've got to just get it to Mark Andrews and see what he can do, carving out those yak yards. So Mark Andrews over 38.5 receiving yards. And I was considering maybe fading Lamar Jackson a little bit under on his rushing yards in this one. So I thought I would just mention it here. You guys can do with this information what you will, but he's averaging 53.8. He had 54 against them earlier this year, but I did want to point out that was when they were playing them with a very incredibly banged up defense. So back is the run stuffing duo of Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, also cornerback Teron Johnson is back, and edge rusher Von Miller. So this is a very different Buffalo Bills defense, a healthy one that they're facing this time around. And I think the Buffalo Bills are not going to let Lamar Jackson just run all over the field in this one. And I think really the key for them, stopping Baltimore's run game led by Derrick Henry, Lightning McQueen, and then Lamar Jackson as well. I know it's a little crazy, so again, do with it what you will, but I thought I would throw that one out there. But our 3 that we are endorsing are going to be those top 3, of course: Khalil, Shakir, Derrick Henry, and Mark Andrews. And then that contest that we mentioned, again, we're rolling with Lamar Jackson over 0.5 passing yards and Khalil Shakir over on his receiving yards as well. So, hey, this is a win-win situation for you guys. If we lose, we're still going to give out $20 to a randomly selected commenter, so make sure you comment below. All right, now it is time for touchdown calls of the game. Tyler, where are you headed for an anytime touchdown in this one?
I'm going to go chalky, but I got to stick with my man, King Henry, Lightning McQueen. He is minus 225, so I'm probably only betting it if I'm throwing in a parlay. But you can't keep him out of the end zone when we have freezing temperatures, and he's likely to touch the ball 25 plus times. I mean, he touched the ball 26 or 27 times last week. He's going to get the ball early and often, and they're going to keep going to him all day long. So I like him to get in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, that's an easy one right there. I have a little sneaky one for you guys. How about Dawson Knox plus 550 for an anytime touchdown? I know he's only had One touchdown on the year. But he has had a touchdown in the playoffs for the Bills every year going back to 2020. Baltimore, 21st in pass defense DVOA versus the tight end position, and they've actually allowed 5 touchdowns to tight ends this season. And this is his 6th season with the Bills. If anyone's got great chemistry with Josh Allen, it is Dawson Knox. He's been so reliable for him in the red zone, in the playoffs specifically. So at this price tag, I saw that, and I was like, this might be a nice sneaky pick here for a touchdown. What do you think, Tyler? Dawson Knox. Count it.
I mean, Allen definitely likes him in the red zone, and we've seen wilder things in the playoffs than him getting in the end zone.
But again, plus 550. So,
yeah, 550. So don't be betting a lot on it.
Yeah, exactly. Throw a couple bucks on it, but that's about it. All right. So those are all of our picks. Remember, everything is available on the PropsAI tool and the LineStar app. You can check that out yourself, linestarapp.com. Now let's take a look at this one. This is a tough one to choose. Baltimore Ravens coming in with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. And then on the other side, you've got the likely MVP in the situation in Josh Allen. This season, they got rid of Stephon Diggs, and the narrative was, will Josh Allen and the Bills be the same? Not only will Bills be the same, they'll be even better this season. So now both these guys going toe-to-toe. Who you got?
I'm going to go Road Dogs. I'm going to go Baltimore Ravens here. Both these teams are obviously built for this weather. Both teams can play very well in it. I mean, both teams can play in any weather, really. Mm-hmm. And but when it comes down to it, I just think the Baltimore Ravens are hot at the right time. I mean, both teams have been extremely good all year long, but I like what the Ravens got going.
They're actually they are
the favorite. Sorry,
they're actually the favorite. Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's a close one, and I feel like it might flip. Yeah, it might flip by game time, but right now it's the Ravens, just a point
I'm sticking
favorite.
With the Ravens.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for me. Oh, man, I really want to go with the Ravens, but I think that Zay Flowers, if he is out in this one, it's pretty significant for me. This one is in Buffalo. Josh Allen is like the abominable snowman. He just crushes it in those games. I think he's a man on a mission this year. And Baltimore's, I guess the biggest question mark I have looking at Baltimore is, will their defense, specifically their secondary, be able to hang with them? And then on the flip side, Buffalo's defense is getting all those guys healthy. I think in this one, I'm going to roll with the home team and the Buffalo Bills. I think it's more fun when we're going against each other too. So go Bills. And if they win, I'll jump through this table. How about that?
I love that.
Add it to the budget for the show budget.
The one thing I got to say just about the Zay Flower stuff is, if it is snowy and cold, that's kind of the best situation to nullify Zay being out, just because it's going to be so much more predicated on the run game. And I just trust the Ravens run game more than Buffalo's.
That's true. The one concern, of course, always is going to be by the end of the game, and you've seen it week in and week out, Derrick Henry just wears down these teams that by the second half, the first half they're hanging around, it's a close game, and then you get to the second half, the fourth quarter, and Derrick Henry just puts it away. I mean, that's kind of the game script for them in this one. So it'll be interesting to see how Buffalo can handle that this year. I'm excited to see it, but I'm going to roll with Buffalo still. All right, those are our picks, but let us know where you're headed, if you've got any leans one way or the other in terms of props, touchdown calls, or the game total, game picks, whatever. Drop it in the comments. We're all here to help each other out and root each other on in the prop market. Best of luck to you guys. This should be a fun one. Grab your popcorn. Go have some fun. We'll see you guys next time.